Okay, today, again, we're going to continue our series with the people of crypto, the great family of the members of this wonderful space in which we're all in. We have a great guest today. He's been a spiritual inspiration to this channel, and he's been a person that's followed my channel for a while, but I really, all of his comments touched me in a way that I had to meet the man. And we were sitting by the pool with Zach, as I remember, and he came up and said, I just really appreciate what you do for the space. And today we have, you may have heard his show called Conscious Contact. And today we have Rasheem with us. Good to have you here, man.
So good to have you. So good to meet you, man. Finally.
Yeah.
Finally.
Good. So I really was touched by your story, by the human element of it, and the way you just talked about, like, hey, we don't all start on, ground zero. Some of us go to minus.
That's right.
And we end up in this path and where we're not really focused on our lives and what we could do and how much better we could be doing. And then some of us, most, never get out of that. Like, I was fortunate to really be a mess when I was a younger man, and I just found a way out. And I was so inspired by your story, the way you did it, and the love for your family and,
Thank you, man.
and the rest of it. So
it means a lot.
We're going to go ahead and ask you some basic questions, but I really just want to get the...
Yeah, we want to hear about your life, and he and I know some, and kind of you get to where you found the upward spiral, where you were at, where you felt not that, and where you're at now. Like, tell us about you.
Yeah. So for me, my life, how do I say this? Adversities brew resilience. And for me, it was almost like, how did I even get here to even get connected to you guys? The synchronicities and like everything that transpired to put us in the same space. I feel, the heart, and for me, in the past, ups and downs, of course. I'm a married man. I have a family. My son's autistic. My older daughter. Just going through life, and then all of a sudden, sometimes you get hit with this like bang. And that bang could be like just the challenge of adversity. That it's like this brick wall. Do you go over it? Do you go under it? Can you see through it? And through that scene of trying to figure that out, it was almost like a whole new space opened up for me. You know what I mean? And it was like a level of spiritual awareness that just took me higher to this level where I was like, what's going on here? And it's like a whole door opened up to new people, new friendships that I didn't really know what it was initially, But XRP, or like this digital asset space, was like the string that tied us together.
Yeah.
But behind it was like the heart, you know what I mean? My life, I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I grew up, a big family. Challenges, and it's like you go through things in life, and some of those things in life you may not know what the outcome is, whether it's, for me, I dealt with addiction, I dealt with like chasing money, I dealt with like family issues, and but at the end of that, it was a light at the end of the tunnel. It was like, you're good, just keep going towards the light. And as I came towards the light, things just got brighter, you know what I mean? And I hope I'm saying this right, enough to kind of convey it without going on and on. But
yeah.
And it just brought it all together, man, and you get to a point in life where it's like, wow, man, I can see why I'm here, you know what I mean? Yeah. The relationships that come into your life, prosperity. It doesn't have to be money. It just could be a higher level of energy where your frequency, the vibration is so high, where you just feel at home.
Yeah.
Like when I met you guys,
Yeah.
it was like, I'm at home, you know what I mean?
Right,
I'm
yeah.
more at home with you than some people I knew forever.
Right,
And I knew
yeah.
in the past, in my rear view, you know what I mean? So it's like the vibration itself just brought me home. And I knew this is the space. The space brought me friendships and a new family, where it just brought everything together for me, you know what I mean? So, I know you'll edit this, man. But I'm trying to put it all together.
Before you walked in the door, Rasheem, we were the five of us were having a chat at the table, and I was kind of reflecting on, some of the things in my life that I thought I really wanted. I always thought I wanted to be married and family thing and like.
Right.
And then I was telling my dad in the car trip here, I was like, all my life decisions have been kind of counter to that, and who I've chosen and who I've, and it's like it's not that time yet. And I was looking at the other four people I was talking to, and I was just like, man, this is what I really wanted. I wanted to be in a room like this and build a community like this and give us all the space to be like, yeah, I'm into this. I'm into that. I love you. I love that idea.
Right. Yeah.
And then I'm talking to them, and who walks through the door is literally like the person that like I can't be even more excited to work with on our channel other than him. Because of the energy that you give in your comments, but on your channel, and to be able to meet you for the first time was like, yes. Like I could not wait to meet you today. And it was the same for these people. And it's just like, this is what I want.
That's right.
This is the prosperity that you were just talking about.
Right.
We already have it. It's already there. It's, we think it's sometimes it's in the future, and we think that fear and the lack, but it's right here.
That's right.
And you put it out there, like shows up. The abundance is here, crew.
Yeah, we time we think things are external, and I think the real lesson is life, that everything is inward. I believe we've came to bring heaven to the planet. We are the heaven.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's nothing outside. We all struggled, bumped our head. I'm still bumping my head. You know what I mean? But I bump my head a little less. You know what I mean? It's like when I bump it, it's like, oh, I get it. You know what I mean? It doesn't take much time to figure it out. But we are the heaven walking the planet, bringing light to the planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
It's the true creativity is this planet,
Yes.
the walk of it, and it's the ability to see not just financial fortunes. There's so many people that I've met in my lifetime, in my journey, that don't get what you got. You know what I mean? It's like, do you know how valuable that is? Like, I know billionaires who are lost and they're empty, and you just wonder, wow, how come we get to spend the time together? Why do we get it and we feel it and we live in it? It's like it's more than contagious. It's like we're attracted to each other in this manner of like such light and bliss, and it's all creativity. It brings us all together, and it's so cool to meet so many different walks of life, because it is crypto that brought us together,
right.
to some degree. But there's millions of people in crypto.
That's right.
But then there's the group of people that like, wow, every person I met in the space, I had, maybe we don't see eye to eye politically or whatever the situation might be, but there was a level of, this is a deep thinker, this is a critical thinker, and this person sees the future. And that is creativity.
That's right.
Yeah. And it's really fun to meet people from every angle. I love it, man. It's like last year I was blown away by how many people I met that were down to earth, and we didn't even talk about the price. We didn't talk about the price of crypto. We never even got around to it.
Didn't even talk about it.
You don't at these seminars. You just
right.
don't.
Whatever. We know where we're
That's
going.
right. That's
we're,
right.
We're on the
Yeah.
ride. We're
Yeah.
doing this thing. Yeah, it's so much fun.
That's right, man.
We were part of a healing group. He and I, you know, we're about the energy and all that.
I
And
feel it.
the smartest thing I heard in that was, you know, we're here to bring light and intelligence. You know, I'm kind of getting into the mode of like letting it flow through you.
Yeah.
You know, everything's a miracle. It's all the right timing, even when you're bumping your head.
That's right.
And that's what your content is all about, man. Will you share with the crew about your content? What is your, you know, it's clearly a passion.
Yeah.
You know, how you put it together and how you narrate it.
Right. You know what's wild is the day-to-day life of working, you know, like the things above the surface. And then you go into this, I go into my sacred hole, and it's like, I feel like the best thing I can do for the planet is be me. The more I can be myself, and that is my passion. Like how do you switch from just like talking all this jazz and then you go into the zone? That zone is who I really am. My heart is like, you know, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm just a super vulnerable person, but I'm like, even before you guys started talking, I'm like back there, damn near crying. I'm like, because I'm like touched by this moment. You know what I mean? Like how this all aligned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, if I wasn't who I was and what appeals to me, there's no way, like I wouldn't have crossed these paths, like how we just fall in sync, you know what I mean? So it's just like, it's just wild how the treasures that come into your life along that path of alignment, you know what I mean? It's like an open door to a whole new landscape that you wouldn't even know exist until you like scraped away at it, you know what I mean? I mean,
So true.
I got friends for life that really add more value to my life because you're kind of ignorant in the rear view, you know, you're growing up, you're just like living your life, bouncing around. But it's like the more meaningfulness and the value, if it's not, I call it light work, you know what I mean? Like,
Of course.
It's like if you're not really, and I think everybody strives to do that, and it may not everybody found their way, but I believe, you know, and I don't want to get too scriptural or anything, but I think like everything's redeemed in a sense, you know what I mean? Like the true self of us is light, you know what I mean? As long as if we can just dwell on that, everything's gonna unfold, okay. You're gonna bump your head, you're gonna go through some some shit, you know what I'm saying? But it's gonna kick in, you know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah, man.
I really, one of the things, great teachers, you and I have shared many, you know, but many. Neville comes to mind as we talk about a lot, but there's so many great teachers and books, but one of the great teachings for me, and I don't know where I adopted this one, but we've been led to believe that we're like 100% human being. And the more you start stepping outside of that and you start to realize, no, actually I'm about 99% spirit, light, energy. And when I'm connected in that, and when I feel that, when I understand that, then I feel the resonance and the love of virtually everything around me. And then when you can come from that point of view, then you're at that place of, well, I just have to forgive everybody. I don't have. They don't have to be smart. They could be the dumbest guy in the street, and I got you. I got that guy right there, man. And once you can be walking that, it's so much harder to spend the time in the menial, day to day, you know, just doing the grind, because that's the 1% human body thing angle. It's not the soul that is like limitless.
That's right.
Completely limitless.
Yeah.
It's what we are.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's so
That's
good.
right. Yeah.
And it, you know, when you were talking about bumping your head, that's those moments in which you grow the most.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah. Hey, it's not just logic. I sensed why that's not
Yeah,
right.
a little pain.
It's a little pain, yeah.
And like, what the hell was that?
Could be some
Yeah.
wires involved.
That's right.
Right,
That's
you
right.
just never know. where
Might
the
catch a
pain-
jolt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Couple scabs. You know.
Right,
And
yeah.
then there's it's such an important thing, you know, any challenge that you come in life, are you going to see it as a problem, or are you going to start looking for solutions?
That's right.
And when, you know, I feel like everybody we meet in this, you know, these seminars and these groups is just, they're solution people. That's what turns them on. That's what gets us excited.
I gotta say, man, you guys, your channel, this is the beauty about you two. Father and son aligned in the light and spirit, and the value you bring to the community. You know what I mean? Like, even when I bumped into you when we was
Yeah.
out in Vegas, Treasure Island, it was
Yeah.
like the resonance of, like, when I seen you, it was like, it was the heart resonance. Like, there goes Allan. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I knew automatically that, like, this is not happenstance. There's no coincidences. You know what I mean?
No,
And
yeah.
here we are today, sitting
Yeah.
on the couch, shooting the breeze.
Yeah.
I mean,
year
this
later.
is like amazing, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what our amazing camera people, Kat and Ron, you know, that was the conversation that we were having.
Right
You know,
before you
right
got
before
here,
you got
yeah.
here, like that is like, you know, they have a young daughter, and
Yeah.
you know, I think is like, how do you guys have that alignment? How did that happen?
Yeah.
You know, what's that look like to you? And it's like, you know, make sure your kid knows that you're their friend.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You know, and that you can talk to them about anything, and that you're gonna listen.
Kids need the
You're
love.
gonna listen because your kid
need
comes
the
into
love.
this thing
Right.
with their own plan,
Right.
and they're gonna
I drive
they're gonna
my
teach you a
kids
lot.
every day. You know, drop them off to school,
Yeah.
and all they listen to is everything we even talk about. Whether
Yeah.
it's like, you know, my daughter sits in the car, she's listening to Les Brown, Jim Rohn. She's
Yeah.
like,
Right.
she's listening to Neville Goddard on the way to school.
Nice.
So I know
Perfect.
that download. Like if I got that when I was a
that age?
kid, like come on, it's like
Could you
it's
imagine
like
where you'd
you
be?
don't even know what you're getting right now. This
No.
download, this subconscious impression,
Yeah.
you're gonna be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes we get to school and I go, all right, school's over. You ready to go home? And this is the greatest lesson I can give you. You know what I mean?
right.
It's over. Forget
Yeah,
this
yeah.
building. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna learn how to spell and a little math, but you're not gonna learn about your soul. And
That's
that
right.
place.
That's right,
Yeah,
man. It's
that's
amazing.
so right.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
When I met you last year,
Yeah.
It was such an impression. I was like, wow, you know, I meet a lot of people, and that's kind of what I would do for a living.
Yeah.
And I was so taken by it, and you're like, you were so humble about, well, I got this little channel, nobody watches
Still
it. And I'm like, nobody watches the thing, and this and
Yeah.
that. Maybe I'll send you something.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding you, I was 5 minutes into your first video that you sent me, and I was like, wow, he completely captured who he is. Who the man I met at the pool, you captured in a video. I remember, I don't know if you remember this conversation, we've had a few, but I was like, we need you, man. I want you in the camera. Like,
Yeah.
your light is so bright. It's like,
Yeah.
but you're like, well, you know, I like to edit and do some
I'm
sunrises.
chasing your coattails. You're still like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta get like you, man.
No, and you do. And
Yeah.
But we had this discussion. You're like, I'll never forget this. You said, well, one day I want my boy and I to have a channel like
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
So-
That's right.
and I was like, it's done.
I'll bet I
Yeah.
bet you will.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta say thank you too, because there's one, I launched a handful of videos, but
Yeah.
you've definitely turned on your community. You know, there's one video I got went to like thousands, and
Yeah.
I know it's because of you guys saying, "Hey, man, you got to go check this out."
Yeah.
And that really touched me, man. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It really touched me. You know, that's what I knew.
But
That was big,
yeah.
man.
but there's certain shows that are really easy to promote.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is one of those that's like,
The-
why is this man not have 1 million views?
The spiritual
I don't
community
get it.
just needs to find you. You know, it's like that's those channels. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of work to do, I guess.
I don't know, man.
no. I
We won't call it work, right? It's
No,
not
it's
labor.
not work. No,
That's right.
no. Once you're connected to what you're connected to,
Yeah.
it just comes out of you. And I know you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
We talk
It
all
means a
the
lot.
time about how, I think you and I have had this conversation about how I'll start a video and 25 minutes will go by. And I'm like, I think I better stop because I think I've been babbling too
That's it,
long, and
yeah.
I'll just hit stop, and I can't tell you what I was talking about. You know, sometimes that magic, that
That's
sweet
right.
spot. I feel like every one of your videos is that way.
Yeah.
I feel like you're connected the whole time.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
There's something really that resonates with me on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good
It
stuff.
means a lot, man. It means
Yeah.
a lot.
And the visuals are growth. I see a lot of transformation, light
Yeah.
in an incredible way. You know, I get just enough time to watch the
Just enough.
butterfly jump out of the cocoon, and then I'm watching the sunrise. You know, and I'm like, wow, my favorite things. You know.
Because I don't know what people are experiencing. You know, I just like, and I never go back and watch them. I may catch a glimpse. I don't even. My wife goes, "Do you watch those?" I go, "It's hard for me to sit through my own." You know,
There-
just
there's-
like,
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Kinda
amazing.
tough.
Man. That's amazing.
We our last two, because we're kind of touching on it all right now. Like, I try to say a lot. I learned it in the law of attraction, but love and appreciation are identical vibrations. And we obviously love and appreciate you,
Thank you. I love you.
and the energy and friendship that you brought into our life. We want you to tell us about what you love about yourself. What's your favorite thing about Rasheem?
It's
Maybe
tough.
a God-given gift.
It's
maybe
easy,
something
actually.
that's yeah.
Yeah, I would say what I relish in about myself, and this is, you know, it's a unique question to ask a person, you know, 'cause, like it
It
really
is.
takes you into yourself. The fact that I'm a real loving person, man, you know, and like I love the fact that I love people don't know what I'm thinking or looking at, but and maybe it comes from a certain level of awareness where you're, you know, I don't even want to call it growth of myself because I don't think I can like toot my spiritual horn. It's not really that, but it's kind of like I feel like I love the fact that I'm always aware of that I'm looking at a person and seeing the creator. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking at you and I see myself.
Yeah.
Like we came here to put on these garments of flesh on purpose. Like we've all came here to just to literally like reconcile this realm to ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, you know, God, light, source. Like you put on these garments. You're light, and you put on these garments to say, you know what, I can do this down here. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you may have dropped some level of density and came down. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But we have chose to come here, and so like my awareness of that allows me to look at a person and go, and like you said earlier, it allows me to. There's nothing you can really do to. Like I'm already forgiven. You know, like you're
that's
good.
right.
You're good.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like. It's
Totally.
like we're all here on this journey together. It's temporary. It's just a journey. We're just passing through.
That's
You know,
right.
you may come back. I don't know. But ultimately, we just came to put on these garments of flesh, and here we are together. If that doesn't bring a uniting spirit, like, you know, this oneness in that. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course.
It's
Yeah.
like I can imagine if we was taught that in elementary school, the world would look different. You know what I mean? If we was taught that from
Oh,
the
yeah.
beginning, you know what I mean?
That's so well put.
And I'm so happy that you brought that up exactly like that, because, well, it's kind of what I was talking about with the 99%. You know, that's what we really are to each other. And we forget that because of elementary school.
That's right.
And all the little games and messing with our
Amnesia.
heads that we do.
Amnesia.
Amnesia.
That we think is the way to do
That's right.
things. But, like, I really like when somebody gets it.
Yeah.
And then I get to share because, you know, being a few generations older than a lot of the people watching my channels, well, you couldn't talk like that 30 years ago. I had metaphysical events in my life that, you know, there's no explain what happened other than God, right? So when those things happen to you, you don't look back.
That's right.
You don't say, oh, well, that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. That miracle happened in my life. You can't denounce it from that point forward. So when you have those experiences, you want to share them with everybody. But 30, 40 years ago, you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
They thought you were crazy.
That's you nuts.
And there's more and more people, like everybody in this room, there's a few people behind the camera.
Yeah.
And we're all on that page now, way more than we ever used to be as a society. And it's so much easier to talk about and bring to the people actually who we are. It's not, Rasheem's not an electrician.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like,
what do you do? I'm an electrician.
What do you do, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
No, that's not who this dude is, man.
That's right.
It's so, it's the sweet spot,
That's right.
really.
Consciousness is definitely rising, man. The
Oh,
planet
got
is
somebody.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You can see the evolution of consciousness rising. You know,
Oh,
people
yeah.
are like,
Yeah. Can feel it.
And it's, you know what I mean? And we're in that wave, man.
Yeah.
We're in that wave.
And I don't, I don't mean to put anybody down, but I'm going to throw somebody under the
throw 'em
bus
under.
here. The hard part for me
Yeah.
lately is we get a lot of doomsdayers.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh man, it's coming to an
Fear.
end and we're in big trouble
Yeah.
and the economy's done for. And I don't resonate with it.
Limiting beliefs.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then the habit of
Low
continuing
here,
to talk
look
about
there,
them.
Right.
Right.
Rumors of war. People
Right.
all like, you know what I mean?
That's right.
If you're not grounded, that shit'll take you somewhere else, man. Before you know it's affected. Right? You're waking up with a flu the next morning. You're sick. You're like, what the hell is into your body? That's
right.
Yeah.
We don't realize how connected we are
Yeah.
in that sense. And when you realize it, you're like, why would I take that into my space?
That's right.
I don't. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
Just leave that at home. You know, keep that in the evening news.
That's it.
It's not doing me any good at all. Can't relate.
That's true, man.
Yeah.
It's very true.
And super jump that, we want to give you the opportunity to talk about someone in your life that you love, who just, it could be more than one, but who's inspired you, who makes you feel loved.
That's a powerful question, man, because in my prayer life, like, we all got our own, like, rituals, kind of like, I take time, from this world and I retreat to a quiet space every day, you know what I mean? And in that space, I take my family, I take you guys, I take the planet, But I would say my children, of course, like, I just download into them all day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like a written script where I'm like, today I'm going to teach my daughter poet, my son Sebastian this.
Yeah.
It's just like, I feel the way I grew up and what I didn't receive from, like, my uncles and aunts, my father and mother. I know that what I'm giving to my children, I download into them how the mind works. I download into them to be grateful for what's going on and to know that you can consciously create your own reality. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't, like my daughter, she's 10 years old. She goes, she's bouncing around, scrolling. I'm like, Mama, I call her Mama. I'm like, Mama, listen. You sit on the phone. I do the same thing, but our individual creative expression, she plays piano, so she literally gets from me everything that I am on the inside. I just know she's gonna be fine. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's like it's a love that's like different because it's like, of course it's unconditional, but I've never received that from anybody in my life. So I know I can be more intentional to go, I'm gonna give this to you.
Yeah.
And trust me, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna bump your head, you're gonna go through experiences, but what I'm giving you, even though they don't even understand it as much, it's like it becomes a greater program, right, than I was given.
Yeah.
That it just like it engineers a greater awareness in them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You know that you have it to give.
Yes.
That's what all the other people didn't know. All the family members that couldn't give it to you.
That's a great point.
They didn't know they had it to give to you.
That's
like
right.
you're just overwhelmed with it all, and you know what she's going to benefit from the rest of her life. That's so huge. People are empty inside. They're not filled with light. They're not filled with the beauty of the world. They're filled with the exact opposite.
Anxiety.
It's like they don't understand how to love or appreciate people because they don't love or appreciate themselves. Yeah, and it's really
big,
it's sad to watch.
It is.
But on the other hand, it's their path. You know?
I go,
Yeah.
you came through us, me and your mother, but it's like you're an equal under the sun. You know, you came through me, but this is your life.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make all the decisions for you. So I need to give you what you need. I never got this.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure I give you, I just want to I listen to Les Brown a lot. He talks about finish strong.
Oh, yeah.
To me, finishing strong is just, I'm just going to give it all. Just empty myself.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean? I just
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
empty myself. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
you get a lot
amazing.
to give.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's fortunate.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
awesome.
both your kids.
You know,
Awesome.
the way you're speaking, you know, about where you go, and you know, we just met physically
That's right.
in the same room for the first time,
right.
but I feel your energy, you know, and there's like that want and desire to have you in my life, and you know, and what you create inspires me, and that I think, as you know, as someone who, you know, going through my 30s now, you know, and I never knew what career I wanted. I never knew, you know, a lot of stuff, and going and figuring it out. You know, I can look at what you do and that energy and vibration you're putting out, man, and it's like, I want to do that. That's what I want. That's what I want
feel the
to.
same
That's what I
way.
want to be on our channel.
Yeah.
That's what I want to be in my life.
Yeah.
And that is the moments in my life, doing, you know,
Yeah.
living in that, talking about it, to where I was just hitting the sweet spot, hitting the tennis ball in the sweet spot, like Dr. Joe says. And so, thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for
It means
being
a
in
lot,
our
man.
life, man.
Means a lot.
We're blessed to have you.
Part of what we're doing with this series of people that we're interviewing, and none more important than yourself, by the way, we're trying to get people who possibly are thinking about maybe, hey, maybe I could do a YouTube channel, or
Yeah.
maybe I could do something like that. But they comment, and they're commenters, and you commented on my channel, and it was the words and it was the energy that you used, and not just the words. It wasn't
Yeah.
just what you wrote, it was the energy that came through it. And I was reading the comments, and I was like, who is this dude? I mean, that guy is standing out. And I really want everybody to understand that you mean so much to our channels, not just that you're listening or watching. It's your comments, that you comment down below and you put who you are
Yeah.
out on your sleeve every day, and you get nothing in reward for it. And it's amazing to me that you all are so diligent, and you've become like popular. And like, oh, this guy comments on everybody's channel in YouTube, or everybody's channel in XRP in the community.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what this series is about, is explaining to you who these people are behind the scenes, and not just the character in the video, or the character, you know, on the comments.
That
So,
means a lot.
and now you know
Yes.
why we do
Yeah.
what we do with the people we do.
That means
Yeah.
a lot, man.
Yeah, it's good.
Thank you,
That's
guys.
well put, Dad. Yep.
Huge,
True.
huge
Yeah.
energy coming from you, man.
The
Huge.
future's bright, man.
Yeah.
Future's
It
bright.
is too. Yeah. And now let's get back to the financial side.
I know, man.
It's gonna be fun, man. isn't
That's
it?
right.
Yeah.
What a weekend.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
It's gonna be good.
That's right. That's right.
It's
good. Abundance.
I know. Yeah, I know. Why would you want to do this alone, right?
No, there's no good there.
No.
That's right.
And
man.
that whole corporate structure is
Yeah.
changing. You know, it's like, look how many people own XRP that are going to do really, really well in the long run, right? Or you could be, you know, I don't know, some billionaire who created one thing and he took all
Yeah.
the profits.
That's
Like the distribution of crypto and the way it's happening with all of us is touching so many lives. It's no wonder that we
Yeah.
run into people
That's
like
right,
the people
man.
we've interviewed. We're so blessed.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, man.
We're, you know, through using this and adopting this technology, it feels like we're getting rid of the energy suckers. You know, the third
That's right.
parties that are
Those
not,
leeches.
that are, you know, making things so
That's right.
centralized.
Yeah.
You know, a big one that we want to talk to everybody about this weekend, you know, it is really about you know, how can we create a system that sustains itself and that you know, supports us and isn't a total stressor on our life, and isn't that just sucking of energy? And like Dad said the word in the car the other day. I'm like, yeah, how do we create a deflationary? We've got the technology to do it, but it's like, how do we right the levels of adoption and find that balance? And you know, it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out in the future. And like, can we get back to, like in this country, a republic where it was the people, you know, pre-Federal Reserve, and it was booming. It was those
creature from Jekyll.
The lagoon.
That beast.
Yep.
Because they want in on everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, but that's where precious metals comes in, and like, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I never was like a Bitcoin, like I never was like a like I've owned some Bitcoin, but I never was like a Bitcoin person, like into the white paper and all it stood for. But it seems like with the regulations, like they want in on everything. They want eyes in on everything. So what do we do?
Yeah.
And I believe really what it comes down to is our hearts, right? Like, I know I'm safe here. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what's out there, like up the street, you know, but I'm good here. You know what I mean? So how do we transform that? That, you know, of course, with our assets, I can send you some dough and it's quick, you know, but what do we do to cultivate that, you know?
And isn't it interesting that more and more people are finding that the dollar is not the safe place?
It's not.
You know, like you just mentioned, like, I'm safe with this currency. Well, it's kind of what's happening with Bitcoin and other coins. It's like, well, I feel safe. I sleep well because I got that. I'm not just in fiat. That would scare me at night. That would be like, oh, that's all I got?
That's right.
Whoa, my future could be shaky. Yeah. It's in decline, my future. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Well,
everybody, if you enjoyed this conversation, please check out our friend, our brother, Rasheem, at Conscious Contact on YouTube. I love it. I went back and watched some videos before we came on the trip, and man, it's just so beautiful what you do and what you express and what the Spirit's pouring through you. And thank you so much for being here with us today.
Yeah, thanks for spending some of your vacation time with us.
This is the highlight of the show. This is the highlight for me personally.
There's people in this room right now. It's like,
the people that are going to see this video are going to get to know the man behind the show, and that's really what I'm so excited about, because I get to see that guy. You know what I mean?
And we talk.
The rest of the world, gets to witness what I get to see as what I call a friend and family.
That's right.
That's good.
And I want to work with you. So let's make it happen. We're on our way.
Just beginning.
Just beginning.
Love you guys, man.
Love you too.
Seriously, man.
All right, guys. So with that, I believe we are out.